What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely incredible day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam, a monkey will break into your kitchen, steal your Fig Newtons, and then leave nothing but excrement in the remains. Yeah, that's right, guys. You don't want that to happen. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys the story of the time I almost got expelled, okay? For the most part, I stayed out of, like, super serious trouble when I was in school, or at least didn't get caught when I was doing anything super serious. But this is one of those times where I just really went out of my way to get in much trouble as humanly possible, and we got caught. And nonetheless, it's a pretty funny story, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I think everybody has that one group of friends that they hang out with the most often, usually known as the boys or the squad or like whatever you call them. And, you know, I had a squad of boys that were like the boys, okay? Like Saturdays were exclusively reserved for them, all right? They were the squad, and we basically did everything together. Like, we were a super tight-knit group of friends that basically got into all the mischief together. And one day we were sitting at one of the guys' house. I believe it was a Saturday, because Saturdays are in fact for the boys, and we decided that it would be super funny to prank the school, okay? Because our seniors that we had that year were kind of lame. Like, they weren't actually gonna do a cool senior prank. Their idea of a super cool senior prank was parking in the wrong parking spaces, because like the school that we were gonna mess with had assigned parking spots, right? It was a school my friends went to, and they were like, yeah, the seniors this year, their idea of a prank was that seniors got assigned parking and they just parked in the wrong spots, which is honestly the lamest prank ever. Like, if everybody still has a parking space and you weren't inconveniencing anybody and like it wasn't funny and no one cared, like nobody cared, like, wow, oh my gosh, did you see that Susan parked in Jeremy's space and Jeremy parked in Susan's space? If that's your idea of a senior prank, I'm sorry, you're lame and you need some advice, because that is the least entertaining fun prank I've ever heard of in my entire life. So I don't know if you guys were kids, you had fun or not. Like, I'm sure some of you were coddled by your mom and were like, stay inside and don't do anything fun. But Ice Cream Men used to sell these little stink bomb things that you would like punch the sides of them and they would expand really quickly before they blew up and made a really, really terrible smell. And we decided that we were going to buy a bunch of those, put them in backpacks, and basically drop them around the school, and then the stench was going to go off, right? Like, basically, it was going to be a stink bomb calculated attack, and we were going to try to make every main hallway and as many classrooms as humanly possible have a bad smell in them. And the thing about these stink bombs, too, is if the liquid from inside these pouches gets on anything, like, it's basically permanently stinky, okay? Like, the liquid on these things is super strong, and it sticks to things like glue. So we decided that that would just be a funnier prank, and worst case scenario, we're probably not going to get caught, because we can just say it was the seniors, all right? Like, we're going to be fine, you don't even have to sweat it. So we find an ice cream man, and we buy probably 15, 16 of these little stink bomb things, like basically as much as the guy had. I think we left him with 2 because he was like, well, they're popular, I don't want to sell them all. So we got 16 or 17, 15, whatever it was of these little stink bomb things, and then we went to the mall and bought like really cheap backpacks. And the reason we were using backpacks is because it would give us the ability to kind of like put them to the side, and it would take people longer to find the stench, okay? Because obviously, when something's stinking up a hallway, you're gonna look for it, and you're a lot more likely to be like, huh, it's probably that metallic-y little pouch in the corner that has ooze coming out of it, compared to just a backpack. I mean, obviously, they'd eventually find the backpack, but our plan was to make the stench be able to seep out and ooze as long as humanly possible. So we get the backpacks, and we decided the best way to do this is to drop them in the corner, stomp them during a passing period when there's a ton of people, and then keep walking. You know, like you drop it, stomp it, and then you just keep moving. Because the odds of us getting caught should, in theory, be slim to none, right? Because like they're gonna check the security cameras. It's just gonna be wave after wave after wave of kids, and the odds of them being like, look it was that kid who dropped the backpack and stepped on it is extremely slim. So we decided that's the best way to go about it. But I didn't go to their school, and sure, I would go there and hang out for lunch, but there's no way I was actually gonna get away with ditching an entire day going into the hallways during a passing period and putting the backpacks in. So on that Sunday, the day after we were hanging out, we decided to go to the school, and I don't want to say the word break-in, okay, because that implies that we did something illegal. That's what we did, but I just don't want to say it. Basically, we went to the school and we were planning out how exactly we wanted to place backpacks in a certain way in order to make the stench the most unbearable. And they were kind of telling me where the most high-traffic places are, and we decided that we were going to put the stink bombs in front of this one hallway, which was always crowded with people and had just tons and tons of people. Another one in the main courtyard area to the right-hand side underneath, like, the awning, because it was supposed to rain the next day, and we were like, people will be under the awning and it's going to smell really bad. And then we decided to do one in every major hallway, and then one on each corner of each major hallway. hallway. So basically, like, in the middle of each hallway stretch, there was going to be one. On the corners of each, there was going to be one. On each doorway, there was going to be one. And there was going to be one outside under the awning. So we do our scouting mission, all right. We're sneaking around, making sure that we have the best possible locations to make this as smelly as humanly possible, you know? Like, we want to make this so stenchy, so disgusting, that the Grinch himself was going to come down from his mountain above Whoville and be like, dang, that is disgusting, you know? Like, that was the game plan. So we go through the school, we plan out where we're going to put the backpacks, and then I say, all right, gentlemen, good luck. I salute them. I say thank you for your service, and I go home. You know, I can't go to school with them. Sure, I helped plan it. I helped design it. I went into the school with them, but I don't go to school with them, and there's no way I can get out for a whole day. So I'm like, all right, even if they get caught, I should be fine, you know, because they're not going to snitch. There's no way. Like, we're going to be A-okay. So the next day at around noon, I get a text from my friend saying we got caught. And I'm like, dang, you know, that really sucks. That really sucks. I can't believe that you guys got caught. That's terrible. And later on, I'm going to tell the story like a little bit out of order. So I'm going to tell them what happened with them. I only found this out after the fact, like a week later when we were allowed to hang out again because we weren't grounded anymore. But essentially what happened was the following. So they got the backpacks all set up, and then the route they were going to have to take is they obviously couldn't stomp on 16 stink bombs at once. So they had to stomp one, walk to the other end of the hallway, stomp on the other, and they were going to try to make it look like it was going on during passing period. The only problem is after they stomped about 2 stink bombs in each end, so like the one in the front door and then the one in the corner, people started freaking out that it smelled bad and just started running, meaning that the hallways emptied out pretty fast and got pretty chaotic, and like people were tripping and falling and like dropping stuff, and stuff was breaking, and it got out of control really quickly. I think in all of our heads we were just like, people were gonna be like, ew, that's stinky, and like keep going to class. But no, people started like panicking and like running and like, oh my gosh, we're under attack, and we're like, oh, they apparently, oh my god, we made a mistake. However, they wanted to continue with the mission, so they went to go to the other backpacks, and at this point everyone's freaking out. So the teachers obviously see a bunch of kids that look like they're on a mission. They're not freaking out. They're not running away from the stink bombs. They're just calmly walking over to this backpack, stepping on it, and then keeping to walk. So it becomes pretty obvious pretty quickly that these kids have something to do with it. And I guess the school didn't know that they were just stink bombs. Like, they thought that, you know, the school was under attack, like a gas attack, which is ridiculous, okay? Like, come on. I mean, I guess it's really not ridiculous with everything that goes on, but, like, we were not trying to gas attack a school. Come on, let's be realistic here. So they ended up calling the police and saying that there was an attack on the school. The police show up. Like, basically every cop car in the valley pulls up to the school. My friends get busted, and they have to explain to the dean and all the people in charge of the school that it was in fact just a stink bomb attack. And they're like, well, you know, the backpacks were strategically placed, yada, yada, yada. And they start checking security footage, and sure enough, they scroll up to that Sunday, and they see all of us just walking around the hallway, plotting out where to put the backpacks, and they don't recognize me. They nabbed everybody that went to the school that was involved, because obviously, you know, once you have the footage, it's pretty easy to figure out who's who. But they didn't know who I was, right? And I was like, dang, I probably got away free. Like, even if they got in super big trouble and the police were involved, I don't go to the school. There's no reason they're going to think I'm involved. I didn't think that the cameras were running on Sunday, and I didn't realize that they were going to check them and be able to figure this out. But sure enough, about an hour later at my school, right before we got out, like at this point I think it's 1:30, and I got out at like 1:45. I get called to the principal's office, and there's a police officer and my principal there, and they're basically like, young man, you know, it's not a joke what you and your friends did. Like, this is serious. You know, we could consider this like an attack on the school. You guys could go to jail. Like, do you understand how serious this is? And like, listen, okay, I understand it looks bad. We obviously didn't think through how it looks to see a bunch of kids tactically running around stomping on backpacks and then chemical smells coming out of them. Like, obviously, in retrospect, it was really dumb, but we were just trying to like pull a good prank, okay? We were not trying to cause mass panic. So I'm kind of just taking getting yelled at. One thing I've learned when you're getting yelled at by adults is you just kind of got to let them yell at you, because eventually they'll tire themselves out and you can explain yourself. So I let him yell at me about how I'm irresponsible and dumb, and how, like, you know, I could go to juvie right now, and he's lucky that I'm not in handcuffs, yada, 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 yada. Like I said, I mean, I was scared, but I was like, bro, like, you're going to arrest me over stink bombs? All right, like, I'll go to the court case on this, you know, it's worth it. So after that, I apologized. I kind of explained that it was just supposed to be a prank. Like, we didn't really think people were going to take it so seriously. And the cop, when I say it's a prank, just starts tearing into me about, I don't understand what you think is funny about this. Like, we could have you expelled right this instant. My principal's like, yes, Ryan, we could expel you this instance for what happened. And I'm like, are you guys being serious? Like, am I on pranked right now? Like, is there a hidden camera in the closet? You guys are going to expel me because I went to another school and put stink bombs on the ground? Like, look, I'm sorry that the cops freaked out and thought it was chemicals. It wasn't. It was stink bombs. Let's be realistic here. You can pretend that it's super serious because you guys thought it was something, but it wasn't that. Like, I'm sorry. It's not my fault that you guys didn't realize it was stink bombs. Like, was it immature and stupid? Yes. Should I have done it? No. But are you really going to be like, oh, we could expel you because you attacked a school? Come on, bro. Like, I didn't attack a school. Let's be honest here. So they called my parents in, and when my parents came in, they surprisingly had my back. Like, you know, my parents are usually pretty strict, but whenever I've gotten into trouble for anything that, like, the punishment was going to heavily outweigh the crime, they've always had my back. And after a little bit of yelling back and forth, I ended up only getting suspended for a few days, which I'll take. Like, all of us ended up getting suspended for a while. However, I was grounded as hell. Like, when I got home, my parents were basically like, you are not going to have any fun for the next month. And, you know, I was like, okay. After a week, though, me, all the kids who were involved, and our parents met to just kind of talk about it. And that's when I found out, obviously, how out of control things got. Because even, like, when I was getting yelled at in the office, I was like, what? They just saw stink bombs? Like, I didn't realize that kids were running around the hallways, like, freaking out that their school was under attack. I understand why they were a little bit more angry now. But at the time, you know, I just thought it was a harmless stink bomb prank. But, yeah, that's the time I almost got expelled for popping stink bombs in the hallway. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. And turn on notifications and subscribe if you're new. Today's notification shout out goes to the one, the only, the illustrious, the occasionally handsome, and always very well dressed. Ahem. Christian Camarena, 32. Big shout out to you, bro. If you want a notification shout out, all you got to do is turn on notifications and send me a screenshot on my Instagram at Scrubby, and I shout somebody out every day. But yeah, on that note, guys, I hope you all having an absolutely incredible day. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure you're hot. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm out. Peace.